Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing and explaining why there were flashbacks in Ahsoka Episode 5. We're going to go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the direct article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. Also, before we hop on into it, I want to mention that I have a merch store. It's linked in the description down below. Use code BOBA in all caps to get $5 off. So, as they read, thanks to a series of flashbacks, fans were transported to the Clone Wars era during the 5th episode of Dave Filoni's Ahsoka show, and boy was it amazing. This comes after the show's mind-blowing conclusion to Episode 4, in which Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker was seen interacting with Ahsoka for the very first time in live-action Star Wars. However, this Episode 4 appearance of the fan-favorite Jedi was short-lived, with fans only getting a brief hello snips from Christensen's character, as well as a few other short lines of dialogue before the episode had concluded. However, it's where Episode 5 things really take off. And that Episode 4's conclusion was just really to set things up of what we had for Episode 5 of an epic proportions as the beloved Master and Padawan traverse in the mysterious world between worlds. After falling into the world between worlds, a plane outside of both time and space, Ahsoka's 5th episode had fully dove into the era-hopping possibilities of this little explored corner of the Star Wars universe. The sequence had showcased a series of flashbacks of Ahsoka Tano's time as a Padawan in the Clone Wars, with a younger version of the Jedi being played by Barbie and Avengers Infinity War star Ariana Greenblatt, alongside Hayden Christensen back as Anakin Skywalker. And so, as we see, these flashbacks highlighted several important missions seen in the Clone Wars animated show, which Filoni had helmed over all 7 of its seasons, also being the creator of not just the Clone Wars, but also the creator of Ahsoka, as Ahsoka had learned one of her final lessons from her former master. The first of these flashbacks saw Ahsoka and Anakin on their first mission, as the young Padawan had confronted her master about the losses that they had suffered during a battle with the Separatist droid army. It was here of where Ahsoka's mentor had told her that the cost of war and the Jedi's place in the galaxy, saying that, listen, I'm teaching you how to lead and how to survive, and how to do that when you're going to have to fight. And so, from there, fans were then transported to Ahsoka's last mission, seen in the Clone Wars animated show, aka the Siege on Mandalore, before going into a battle between Rosario Dawson's version of the titular hero and her former master. This whole sequence was meant to bring Ahsoka out of the shadow that she had been living in since we had last saw her with Anakin/Vader in the Star Wars Rebels animated show, to bring more closure to that. And in one final lesson, Ahsoka realizes what it truly means to be a master to a Padawan, and what she needs to do for her mentee Sabine, given the incoming conflict with the villainous Thrawn. The point of the flashbacks overall, as a main understanding, is as for Ahsoka to understand what it means to be a master, being harsh as a master, and what it needs to do in order to discipline and to really get a lesson across into a point for a Padawan. I also like to take it into the sense, or into the idea as for why Ahsoka prefers or takes on an older Padawan, if for anything, Sabine, who's probably in her late 20s around this point in the Star Wars timeline, comparing it to Jacen Syndulla or even Grogu, both being relatively, well, younger for their species, of course. We clearly see in those flashbacks that Ahsoka didn't agree or like being essentially a child soldier. As for as many memes or jokes about that whole idea, that is a big conflict that Ahsoka has dealt with, and we see that kind of catching up to her in those flashback sequences. It's something that she didn't necessarily agree with or want to do, but in order to be a Jedi, carrying on that legacy and being a part of the Jedi Order, it was something that she was forced to do or had to do, and she doesn't want to do the same for Jacen Syndulla, who's so young. Same thing for Grogu or Baby Yoda. So she'll probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, eventually want to take them on as actual Padawans. Maybe just give them some time to be kids and grow up, actually, though, however, not putting them in any danger necessarily. But this all being said, what's next for Ahsoka going forward for the rest of the remaining 3 episodes of the show? So now that Ahsoka has gotten her one last lesson from her former master, reliving the key moments from her tenure alongside Anakin Anakin during the Clone Wars, it is time for her to finally be the mentor that she's been destined to become. The new and improved Ahsoka looks to feeling more lighter and better prepared for her mission, knowing what she needs to do and get done should conflict come to a head. I also want to quickly point out and mention that a lot of people have complaints about Ahsoka not showing any emotion the first episodes of the actual show up until episode 5. When we see her come out of the World Between Worlds at the latter half of episode 5, we see her very much more alive, more lively overall. She just feels more well and more happy, having more emotions and being happy and striving to be a Jedi, actually. This would have to come as for her finally having that conclusion with her former master Anakin Skywalker, and it's great to see that. And I love how they included that tidbit as well, as it had come as firstly as a complaint. We can now see that it was done actually purposefully. So Rosario Dawson's titular Jedi almost has that same look and feel of Gandalf the White from the Lord of the Rings franchise, another all-powerful character who's realized upon conquiring death that he could too do just about anything. Feeling ready to take on anything that comes towards her path is what she's ready for, and she's going to do it with a smile on her face. And now that Ahsoka and her droid companion Hu Yang are headed for the far reaches of the unknown Star Wars universe aboard the hyperspace-faring Purrgil, she will need to put what she has learned into the practice as she tries to be a better master for Sabine going forward. Plus, adding into the fact of that this journey across hyperspace will likely bring Ahsoka, Sabine, and the villainous Baylan Skoll face to face with the long-feared Grand Admiral Thrawn. And one can see that in these last few episodes, employing this renewed sense of leadership will be no easy task. This here all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. What are your theories? I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.